Are you ready? Let's do something fun. I'm working with a student that I just put stuff in front of him and he loves it. Like, he's pretty new to guitar, but he's fascinated by just the patterns of notes on the neck, simple chord. He's like, don't throw too much at me though. A minor scale. And I gave him just one of my standard C major scale PDFs or printouts, and he's been playing it over and over, and I think that's important, that you lock in on these basics. So we did a Zoom meeting yesterday, and he was so excited about this. He just wanted to sit and do that for a while, and I'm like, that's good, because you have to, I say, internalize that. It's got to be just like second nature. And so, and then he was like, I wasn't really staring at, I wasn't watching his hands that closely, and he played like, I go, that's a C2, and he was like astonished that I could hear that and identify it. I go, give me another chord. And he played something like, I'm like, that's A minor 7, and he about lost it. But I'm just telling you, from that scale, it's a good starting point to train your ears to be able to identify nearly anything. I'm like, all right, play a few more chords, and I could, identify him 100%. I'll have to do it where he plays a note, and I'll, identify that pitch. But what we did, so he just wanted to keep doing that, and he's real excited. We're talking, having fun, and then somehow I got him to start thinking about playing higher up the neck, and I think that PDF did have, and he could play that pretty much by reading or memory. And then I'm like, dude, it's the entire neck, you can play that. And, he wasn't quite grasping that. And I think I said, here, play the 5th string, 3rd fret. Then go to the, or 3rd fret, go to the 5th fret, 7th, 8th, 10, 12, 14, 15. And he was kind of hearing something, and then I said, now reverse it, 15, 14, 12, 10, 8, 7, 5, 3. And he's starting to, it wasn't quite dawning on him yet, but he was getting there. And I think we did 2nd string, like 1st fret, 3rd fret, 5th fret, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. And he's like, so can you do it on any string? I'm like, yes, it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Repeat, repeat, repeat. That's the C major scale, except you start and end on C normally. And so he's starting to grasp it. And then I think we might have done 3rd string. I don't remember. I just said, let's stop at 5. We might have got that far. 4th string. I can't remember what we did with 4th string. But he was thinking about it. And then he was like, well, why are some of them 2 frets apart and some are only 1 fret apart? I said, if they're 2 frets apart, that's a whole step. If it's 1 fret apart, that's a half step. And he was like, well, how do you know? Well, I said between E and F is a half step. E and F is a 1 fret jump. You know, we did an hour lesson, so no rush. And between B and C is a half step, a 1 fret jump. And he's processing this, taking it in. You know, I'm just giving him time, no rush. And he's thinking about it. And I think he kept speeding up, though. So he's going to go, did it. I'm like, no, you're speeding up, you're speeding up. I must have said you're speeding up probably 20 times, literally. You're speeding up, slow down, think about it, hear it in your head, then make your move. Don't try to thrash your way through it. You got to hear it first, then make your move. Kind of estimate, is that a half step or a whole step? Because he probably doesn't know the entire neck super good. I mean, I know he doesn't. And so he's processing, thinking. We talked more. We talked about some other stuff, and he came back to it, and he's thinking. And, you know, I was kind of, you know, very nice lesson. Pretty low pressure, but he's a hot, energetic guy, but he's having fun, I'm having fun. So then he's like getting pretty excited, and he's going like, which is pretty good to put together by yourself. He was realizing, of course, you can cross from string to string, and then that makes it really 3D and more complex, doesn't it? But he was kind of, you know, he kept hitting like F sharp. I'm like, no. And that's okay to make that mistake. But it's not really that necessary to keep hitting it over and over. You should learn a little something from your mistake. So he was... somehow, you know, working it, connecting from string to string, which is pretty big, you know, from where he started to start moving it through the whole neck. He's like, I'm going to have fun with this. And so that's kind of how I build my teaching empire, is just what works for one guy. I'm like, hey, that might work for a few others. So if he had fun with that, I'm thinking a few other people might have fun with that, and so forth. And so that's what I do. You know, if one person is excited about a song, well, here, I'll write it out and give it to a few more people. And that's kind of how I work. But that C major scale, now I'll just do my thing with it. I'm going to kind of close my... I told him that I'm having people close their eyes and find the notes and stuff, but let's see what I do. I'm going to try to find C at 8th fret. Oh, I did it. Good. I'm glad. All right. Eyes were closed there. So you got to find that kind of... And if you... It's sometimes scooping into it. Oh. Kind of cool. Mistakes can be okay. You know, you get the idea. But I'll back up a little bit. My student I worked with yesterday, I had given him the PDF of Find All Your E Notes. Woo, pretty good. Eyes closed, no peeking. He knew that. I said, hey, those are all those notes are part of the C major scale. E is part of the C major scale. So that might help him connect more things. You know, just knowing the E notes is possible. Anyway, we got that guy on his way. You know, he's launched. He's doing good. So, you know, a lot. You can tell I'm interested in amps and guitars and, you know, different gadgets and pedals, but the notes are always more important in my opinion, you know. And we get so crazy about building guitars, modding guitars, and the equipment that sometimes we lose sight of uh, the notes a little bit. So the C major scale is a good reality check, you know. Yeah, chase guitars, chase tone, chase amps, do everything, but don't forget to do the basic, you know, major scale, key of C. You know, we can move to key of G or D or A or E. Any simple key that's good for guitar, we'll do that, you know. But let me know what you think about C major scale and see what you can do with the C major scale on your own, using your own ears. If you need help, I'll help you, but I think you can figure this out and see how far you can get by playing that major scale all through the neck. It's very fun. And then test yourself with your eyes closed. If you're a little bored with this, just see what you can do with your eyes closed and know, you know, see how good your muscle memory is. I'm glad I found those notes pretty good. I'm also glad I made a mistake for you on the video, a couple mistakes. So anyway, that's C major. That worked for that guy. I think it could work for a lot of people. And this is my Squier made in China Telecaster, which I really like this guitar. Yeah. Okay, I'm out.